We often talk about Pallant House Gallery as being a collection of collections. We've formed a collection of nearly 5,000 items through the generosity of a group of private individuals who have gifted or bequeathed the works that they've amassed in their lives. The first of these was Walter Hussey, the Dean of Chichester Cathedral. In 1985, when Walter Hussey died, he left his private collection to the gallery for the public to enjoy.
I think the product of the artist, of all sorts of artists, can be some of the highest work which is done by human beings, and therefore I think it makes an extraordinarily appropriate symbol of what man offers to God. I think it's tremendously important that the contemporary artist should be brought in this as in every age, to express the truths about God in a contemporary idiom.
Walter Hussey was Dean from 1955 to 1977, so going back a little bit, though there are still people here now who remember him being Dean at the time.
Yeah, actually there are a few people at Pallant House as well who have said the same, and they remember him coming to Pallant House and sort of looking at all the work and things that he gave the gallery. So just talking a little bit about Walter Hussey and his sort of role here. Who was he, and what was his sort of role within the patronage of modern British art within the cathedral setting? Why is it sort of important for the cathedral?
One of Walter Hussey's passions was art, and what he was particularly keen on. He had a passionate belief that art reached its highest expression when it was actually connected to religion, to Christianity, to spirituality. And so for him to actually bring art into the context of the worship of the cathedral was really important, and that's where he believed art reached its highest level.
And some of the work that he obviously brought into the cathedral, and obviously work that he had in his private collection as well. I mean, it seems quite strange to have modern British art in such a sort of traditional setting.
I think in every generation, in every cathedral, people have added and renewed and beautified, and I think it's part of that tradition. I think Hussey's particular contribution was to bring in quite a lot of art over a fairly short period of time. And so a lot of what he brought in is of its time, it's of a piece. It reflects a lot about Hussey's interests and his passions. But I think it certainly added to the life of the cathedral. And it's one of the things that sets Chichester Cathedral apart from some of the others, the fact that we've got such a rich collection of modern art in this particular context.
You said that it's very much of its time, some of this artwork as well. I mean, do you think that his legacy and the artwork that he sort of introduced really sort of lives on in Chichester? Do you think the cathedral is sort of a destination in Chichester where people could see sort of interesting art and how it relates to religion as well? Yeah,
people come from all over the world to see not just to see the cathedral and the ancient stones, but also the modern additions, particularly Hussey's additions. But the synergy between the cathedral and Pallant House is there as well. And so that those two institutions work really well together in bringing people to Chichester. Definitely. And we're not standing here just by coincidence, are we? So this view was painted by John Piper, who's one of the artists that Hussey worked with often and commissioned several pieces from John Piper. I mean, it's an iconic view. From the Deanery, it's one from all the front windows of the Deanery. It's the view that you capture. It's changed a little bit. We're in the middle of replacing the green copper roofs with new lead roofs, so the view has already changed from that which Piper captured. And we're also fortunate to be here on a lovely sunny day, because on the day in which Piper painted his portrait, it was a filthy rainy day, and the legend is that he actually painted it sitting in the front seat of a car because it's too wet to do it any other way. When Walter Hussey asked John Piper if there was something that he might be able to use for the front cover of the Chichester 900 book, which celebrated the 900th anniversary of Chichester Cathedral in 1975, I thought it was really interesting that John Piper was such good friends with Hussey that he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'll produce you something really new and really lovely and paint you something really special." And then obviously when he came, it was such awful weather and he had to sort of work in horrible conditions, but he created something that was so beautiful, considering it was probably such horrible weather. It was it really captured something of the essence of the cathedral. Really did. I always think the reproductions of it never do it justice either. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Not at all. Great pleasure.